Hey guys, and welcome to the Coach's Corner, the place where Danny Almeida and Tim Anderson talk all things strength and conditioning, health and fitness, and even physical therapy. If you're a coach and you deal with clients, this is the place for you. Hey guys, and welcome to this week's edition of the Coach's Corner. Danny, what are we talking about today on the Coach's Corner?
Oh, you're throwing it at me. All right, so we both just said who's going to open this thing, and he was like, you or me. I thought he was. All right, so here's the deal. We talk a lot at Original Strength about the idea of safety and that your brain wants to be safe and that your body moves better when it feels safe. But what I think sometimes people struggle is like, what do we mean by that, right? Like, what does safety mean? Now, it's simple, right? Like, it's kind of a simple concept, but there's still a lot of questions around that. You know, so whether you're a new coach or you're a seasoned coach or maybe even yourself and you're like, well, I don't know, I'm not moving well. Like, do I feel safe? Of course you think you feel safe, right? So look, I'm gonna throw it right back at you. Like, where do we go from here? Like, for people that are like, what do you mean by that? Because you say your brain needs to feel safe to move well. Like, I don't know, where do you go?
So our brains their one job is to help you get to tomorrow. So your brain's always asking the question, am I safe or am I not safe? And because it wants you to be safe so that you can survive. So your brain's always interpreting information, and with that information, it determines whether or not it's going to let you move or not. So your brain's an inhibition organ, so it inhibits you from moving when it does not feel safe. So a simple way to look at that is if you can't touch your toes, or you feel tight, or you're not as mobile as you want to be, more than likely it's because your brain doesn't trust you enough to allow you to move where you want to move, so it's trying to downregulate you or inhibit you from being able to move in certain ways, like touch your toes.
So let me ask, so and this is something that we see in a lot of workshops, we'll do our certification and we'll be going through and we'll have someone breathe and they spend 3 minutes breathing, whatever, and they've previously tested themselves to see like, hey, can I touch my toes? Let's breathe. And the next thing you know, they're touching their toes. So all of a sudden their body feels safe, yes. Right? So can you explain, like, so that people can understand a little bit better, like if I was protecting myself prior and now breathing just changed that result, right? Now I can touch my toes, like why? Like,
so
how does that work?
The easiest explanation is we're all born to breathe a certain way. We're all born to move a certain way. And if we live in our design and we breathe the way we were born to breathe and we move the way we were born to move, then our brain's gonna feel safe. Conversely, if we don't live in our design and we're not breathing the way we were born to breathe, say we're breathing through our mouth or we're breathing up in our neck and our chest, our brain's not gonna feel safe because we're actually telling it we're in danger. We are activating our sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight nervous system, which means danger. There's a tiger chasing me, I gotta do something about it. I'm scared, I don't know what to do. And your brain's saying, oh, he's breathing through his mouth, something's wrong. I don't know what's wrong, but something's wrong. So it's going to affect how you move because you're telling your brain you're not safe based off how you breathe. And so when you breathe the way you were born to breathe, your brain says, oh, everything's great. There's no alarm, there's no emergency, there's no tiger. I'm gonna let you move the way you wanna move.
Okay, cool. So I know we kind of jumped in really fast and not in terms of talking about safety. But you know, when we're looking at helping to develop coaches, we're looking at what do we need to look at in order to help people make the most of their movement, right? So obviously here at Original Strength, we teach people how to press reset, and there are the big 5 resets, right? So we're going to teach them how to breathe. We're going to teach them how to regain head control or how to practice head control. We're going to get them rolling around on the floor. We are going to get them rocking on their hands and knees. And then we're going to establish the gait pattern or stimulate the gait pattern with anything from crawling and dead bugs to skipping and cross crawls. So this simple movement here. So when we're coaching, though, we're looking at people and thinking, how can we help improve their movement? And so I think one of the things like I kind of wanted to point out to people are what are some things that we're kind of looking for that we know when we see a client come in and we see certain behaviors or patterns in them. Maybe it's just them walking in, or maybe it's, you got them on the floor, you got them moving through something, right? Whatever it is. Like, what are some certain things that kind of stand out to say, ooh, this reset could be really beneficial for them?
The biggest things you're going to look for your clients is, are they breathing the way they were born to breathe?
Which is?
Nasal breathing with their tongue on the roof of their mouth, filling their lungs up, reaching, putting air, oxygen in the bottom of their lungs, not just breathing up in the top of their lungs. That's how we're born to breathe. Do they have head control? So basically, are they able to control the movements of their head, or is their head just kind of hanging there? How's their posture? Is their head level with the horizon, or is it forward? Is it cocked up? What are they doing with their eyes and their head? And then, how is their gait pattern? Are they using all four limbs to walk? Do they have a contralateral pattern? Can they crawl? So you're just looking for it is the foundation of what it is to be a human. Are they breathing well? Are they activating the vestibular system well because they can control their eyes and head? And are they engaging in their gait pattern well?
All right, cool. You answered that very quickly.
Was I not supposed to answer that?
You did. No, you did. I was just trying to kind of figure out where to go next with.
So if they're not doing those things well, if you help them do those well as a coach, their body will change at the speed of their nervous system. And then everything else just gets better because the brain feels safe. It's getting the information that it was looking for, that it was missing. And it no longer feels like there's a problem or an issue. And so then it's going to give them free expression, or the ability to freely express their body. And what does that mean? It may mean that they just move faster, easier, they hurt less, they can get up and down from the floor easier, they can do a full butt to calf squat when they couldn't go below parallel to start with. It just gives them access to their ability to move. Your body's an expression suit, and your brain will not let your body fully express itself when your brain doesn't trust what your body's going to do. But if you live in your design and you move in your design, then your brain says, you know what? Everything is great. I'm going to let you do what you want to do. And then you have access to your strength, but you also have access to your mobility, your control, everything about what it is to be fully expressive as a human. And it's not just physical. It allows you to express yourself mentally and emotionally optimally, because everything about you is well. Your brain says, I feel good. I feel good about the information I'm getting, so I'm going to let you express yourself freely. That was a much longer answer. Was that better?
That was good. Well, I was trying to figure out, okay, where do we want to go from here? Or are we done? Right? But I think, so for us, we see people that maybe have some patterns that we can continue to work on. And with pressing reset, now we start forming these habits so that they start going back to moving and breathing the way that they were designed, which is great. We also see people come in a lot with a lot of stress, right? So people are stressed, people are in pain, and what does pain do to the nervous system?
Well, pain does not allow you to freely and fully express yourself.
Right, because it doesn't feel safe.
Pain is your brain's way of telling you, I don't feel safe. That's your message saying, I don't feel safe, something's not right.
Okay, how about stress? How does stress impact it?
Well, stress and or fear travel the same neural pathways that pain does, which also reinforce to your brain that something's not right. And so if you're overly stressed, or you're anxious about something, or nervous about something, or scared about something, you are reinforcing the message to your brain, something's not right. So you also have to think about it is that you do not have a thought, and you cannot have a thought that your brain doesn't know about. So whatever you're thinking in your head, and however you interpret what you're thinking in your head, is a message of, I am safe or I'm not safe. And so if it's a negative thought, you are reinforcing the message that you're not safe, and your brain will not allow you to freely and fully express yourself if you are struggling with fear, worries, doubts, or concerns.
And that's something as a coach that you see all the time. I know that we talk about this happening all the time. I mean, how many times have you had a client totally doing amazing in a session, and then next thing you know, they're like, I'm worried about my back hurting or something hurting, and they're like, I don't know if I can do this. Something might hurt.
That happens all the time, and
right.
If they start thinking that way, it's almost like you've probably heard of a self-fulfilling prophecy, but we don't want people to start doubting what they can do, before, especially if they're lifting weights and they're about to do something heavy. You don't want fear to creep in, because that's going to win, and it's going to shut the body down. The brain will start inhibiting what you can do, and it's not going to allow you to fully use your strength or your mobility. And when you can't use your strength and mobility the way you want to, especially when you're about to do something heavy, you're setting yourself up at a risk. So as a coach, you want to try to help encourage and keep your clients confident, I know it's not necessarily up to you, but if they start thinking negative chatter or getting afraid, then it's time to step back.
Sure. So what's one way that you might step back and help that person overcome?
It depends on the person. If they're a negative Nelly, you know what, we've done enough for today. Let's just practice breathing, and we'll come back tomorrow or the next day. Next time we come back, we're going to hit the ground fresh. If they just need a small course correction, and they're the type of person that can say, you know what, this is in my head, I know I can do this. And if you can see the tide turn, you'll know, you feel energy, you can pick up on energy. And if they're that type of person where, you know, you just plant hey, you got this, and they're like, you know what, you're right, I got this, then let them go, they got it. But if they're not that type of person, I don't push it. I don't like to roll the dice because I can't overcome what's going on in somebody's head.
Okay. So I actually had a situation this last week, and it wasn't even in the gym, or at least this kind of gym. I was coaching volleyball to a bunch of 10-year-old and under girls, which is, if you know anything about volleyball and young kids, it is a challenge to teach, and it's really challenging sport to learn young. And so I have a few girls that are struggling with their serving, but I kept looking over, and this girl was coming up to serve, and she was like this. So right now, like, I'm seeing, like, okay, she's getting nervous, right? Like, so she's showing, everything about her is showing, like, I'm not comfortable here. I don't think I can do it. I don't feel good. I don't feel good about myself. Like, lots of negative thoughts, right? Like, you see that, and usually you can see, like, posture reflects how you're feeling generally, very often. Like, it reflects how you're feeling.
You're an expression suit.
Expression suit. Write that down, guys. So this girl was here. I could tell she was uncomfortable. So we literally, I was like, hey, you know what? Power pose. We're Wonder Woman. Like, and I put her right here. And I was like, okay, we're gonna sit tall. We're gonna breathe. Right? We're gonna take our nice deep breaths. Actually, I had the whole bench do it, except for one girl who thought I was, this 10-year-old girl wasn't into it. But and I didn't force her to do it. I did not force her to do it. But everybody else sat on the bench, chest up, head high, breathing. And the girl comes back around, she serves her ball and actually does a good job, right? And then she comes on the court and there's better energy and everything. But, you know, we were looking at the team and everyone was just down. And just even, I know this is a little bit different, but still the same thought. She's thinking those negative thoughts, and it's reflecting in how her body is even holding itself. So we went and put it in a reset, right? So power pose is a reset. That's breathing, right? We put us in a more powerful position. We said positive thoughts. We thought positive thoughts, and then our bodies delivered. So I thought that was kind of cool. But I feel like that's an easy way sometimes to do something for someone, and they don't always have to know that that's what you're doing.
Yes. So she brings up a good point. It may be hard to renew your mind with your thoughts, but sometimes it's easy to renew your mind with your movements. Mm-hmm. So the power pose is a movement that can give the brain safe information that can actually influence how you're thinking and how you're feeling, which can change negative thoughts into positive thoughts through movement.
Yeah. So when we look at, so we talked about stress and fear and pain, and all of them traveling the same neural pathways, shutting down parts of your body when it doesn't feel safe or protected. But when we look at stress, the majority of people around us are stressed every single day. And a lot of times we don't even always know. Like, we know, but like, we're not like on track with it, right? Like, you're living in stress all the time, so you don't really understand how to settle it down. And so sometimes when we look at breathing, I feel, and I do think people here at OSI are, they are used to coming in and laying down and breathing. But a lot of times there are people that are just like, no, I don't need to breathe. I breathe all day, right? Like, so they don't realize like the impact that even just breathing can have on your nervous system. And for the start of every single session that we do with any of our clients, we literally have them lay down on the floor and breathe for about 2 to 3 minutes, would you say? 2 to 3 minutes every time. And it is literally just to reset their brain, to help them get ready to go for their workout ahead, because they've probably come in feeling high stress. And so we're trying to kind of just downregulate their nervous system as quickly as possible. I guess I kind of wanted to talk about just regulation of the nervous system in general. And I'm trying to figure out the best starting point here because I don't really have a good segue. So you guys are hearing that. But, I think that the nervous system in general is something that more and more people are starting to talk about. We've been talking about this for years, guys, so it's really great to hear.
The nervous system runs this show.
It's a big deal. Yeah, it's a big deal.
It is the deal.
It is.
The deal.
The deal. Yeah, and so I think it's important that people understand how much of a big deal it is, and it's amazing to me how much people don't really care sometimes. They just don't know.
They don't know. And listen, you're designed to be a whole person. How you move affects how you feel and how you think. How you think affects how you feel and how you move, and how you feel affects how you move and how you think. You're a whole being, but your nervous system is in the middle of all of that. So whatever messages you give, your brain's interpreting everything. And every millisecond, your brain's saying, I'm safe or I'm not safe. So how you move, how you feel, and how you think are 3 avenues of information that tell your brain that you're safe. And those 3 avenues dance together. You can't pull them apart from each other. So if you're moving well, you're feeling well. You're thinking well. If you're thinking poorly, you're feeling like crap and you're moving poorly. They all dance together. So at the heart of everything is the information that you're giving to your brain and your nervous system.
So if you're a coach or you're someone that is working with people that are not feeling well or not moving well, and you're struggling to get the idea of slowing things down, taking time to reset yourself, to press reset, to just take time to breathe, like what Tim just said right there is maybe a good starting point to discuss with your clients, and I think, or patients even. I think being able to throw people some information about how important the nervous system is and how movements like the ones we've talked about today with pressing reset and just taking time to breathe can really make a big impact on the nervous system, which doesn't just impact how they work out. It impacts everything, right?
It impacts their lives, it impacts how their cells function, but it impacts how they interact with other people, their house, their co-workers.
Your hormones.
It's everything.
Literally everything.
It's not just you, it's everything around you.
Yeah. So guys, that is it for today. Talking about safety, downregulating the nervous system, pressing reset, the power of movement, healing your body, and how everything is intertwined, all working together. Do you have any other big thoughts you want to share?
I don't feel really safe sitting this close to her, but it's making me nervous.
Fair enough. All right.
All right.
Next time, guys.
See ya.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Now, go coach on.